I've never seen it.
Wow. Well, hey, Jon Lovett, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now we're getting into the podcast.
We're in it.
Down one Achilles tendon.
Sure.
You can see why that took him out. Achilles. Without it,
okay.
She was. This is going to make absolutely no sense to anybody listening.
But this is me putting together who Achilles was. Like, I remember reading about Achilles, and I always remember Achilles' heel. It's just reworking third grade stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, that was so odd. We're here. Jon Lovett's here. You've never seen Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Correct.
I had to work my way back through the title. Mm-hmm. It says Ant-Man 3.
Yes.
Marvel, who knows the number into Marvel this is. 50.
For sure. It's not accountable.
So it's been a little while since we've tackled anything Marvel, I think. And I want to know specifically why you haven't seen this one. I mean, it's so crazy to ask someone why they haven't done something.
Yeah. No, well, I think these movies, we were talking about this before we started recording, that you could make a good faith effort to keep up with what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Your Iron Men and your Thors.
I like Irons Man.
Your Irons Man, your Thors, your Hulks, your Guardians, all those people, and everything that they were getting up to, and it all built up to a movie that had the word "the end" in the name, Endgame, and it built up to Endgame, and then you went to the theater and you saw it, and then you went home.
There was a win.
It was a win. I don't even
Spoilers.
Then they said, but we're not done.
Yeah.
We're actually just going to keep doing this forever. And there'll be new and more complicated problems. And I don't remember whether it was who's Doctor Strange has the multiverse of mayhem, of madness. And then there was the Loki show on Disney, which also involves the multiverse. There are others that I think involve the multiverse that I think at this point maybe imbibed parts of.
Spider-Man Homecoming?
I think they're really injecting the multiverse into all. They really were like, did you know everyone can be back anytime we want now forever? And you're like, well, you feel like you pulled the rug out.
Yeah, that sort of was the end of it for me. Because I don't know if I truly, it says something about how disposable these movies have become, that you don't even know if you've seen some of them.
Yeah, that's
I know I've seen the first Ant-Man. I remember seeing the first Ant-Man. I know there was a second. I don't know if I've seen it. I couldn't tell you. I'm positive I never saw the third.
And now I'm wondering, was it Ant-Man 2 or was it Ant-Man and the Wasp 1? Does anyone even remember the title of that one? Was it?
I absolutely have no idea.
I'm sure it had one.
I know I've seen a wasp in clips.
I know that I've seen wasps.
I've seen wasps somewhere.
I've consumed wasps.
Yeah.
And I do have I do think that it was a huge mistake. Taking these things seriously always it's embarrassing to even talk about it in this way. I believe the strategic blunder of the Marvel franchises, but I do believe the introduction of a multiverse just takes the air out of the whole entire enterprise, because basically it means, as you said, everything can be undone.
Yeah. For
every victory, there's a defeat, and
death isn't real.
Nothing matters. It doesn't matter. If you actually think about it, nothing matters. And so, and then the other part of it too is it's the first Iron Man movie, he makes an iron suit and then he uses it to fight some bad guys, and he beats the bad guys.
Yeah.
You don't need to know a lot before you go see that.
No.
And then you get to these movies and it's remember, in 2013, there was a crystal. And by the way, that crystal led to somebody named Krang. And Krang, there's a couple different kinds of Krang. And don't forget, there's this guy Loki, and Loki's related to Thor, is the god of thunder, and that they have this special laser beam. You got to know all that.
I love retroactive.
Before you get to your fun, pointless fucking blundering movie.
Before Paul Rudd is riffing in front of the green screen.
Right.
It is so funny to me when you're watching one and they're like, we are putting a flashback from a previous movie in, but changing what happens in the flashback.
Yeah, at the end,
to show you a different. I did get very. I thought it was so crazy. Endgame. I think it made the most money of any movie ever. I think it is.
It's up
I'm,
there.
I'm not going to be super wrong if I say that. I might
Yeah.
be like second or third.
It's
To
in the
then think
conversation.
they wanted
Yeah,
volume was a crazy move. Where they were like, all right, well now we have to overwhelm them with more. When I like
Right.
pulling back and figuring out small
they-
stories would have been. I don't even remember what was first.
Because the blip is in all the Spider-Mans, basically. There's so many Spider-Mans where the blip is addressed.
Can I talk about the blip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we
Is
talk
this-
about when
wait.
we talk about Blip.
So I'm sorry, just so I remember, just so I understand the terms. The snap is when everyone disappears, and
Yes.
is the blip when everyone comes back, or is the blip something else?
The blip is they're saying that's the time when everyone was snapped.
Come on, man. Say the Blip is the snap.
The blip is the snap, and then when they come back, everyone addresses everything as the blip.
like
oh,
the
back
like
in
the
blip.
4 years when half the people
like
were
the
gone.
COVID, like COVID, basically. Yeah, it's like
I find the cavalier way in which the blip is treated to be very hard to deal with. It would be emotionally fucking ruinous.
yeah.
Are we normalizing
exactly.
the Blip?
The blip is so.
Was the
is-
Blip normalized
blip-
by the media?
Remember when Dad was gone for 4 years?
Safe again. No one would
No, it
feel
is- it
safe
is-
again.
Ever, right? Yeah.
It is
That can
crazy that
happen.
people are
Yeah.
still like making donuts.
That can happen.
right. Like he disappeared for 4 years, came back the same age.
It is
That's
wild
weird,
because
right?
the show The Leftovers has a blip
100%.
where 1% of people leave and they talk about it all day, every day, and affects everyone forever in deep ways. This half of people left, and 4 years later, people are like, "You guys want? What do you guys want to go dancing?"
yeah.
It is so. That does that. It also is just a fucking The blip is a bummer.
It is.
The whole thing is a bummer. Thanos was a bummer. Thanos as a character, fucking bummer.
That's so-
didn't
like
tell,
anyone's-
didn't tell one fucking joke, and they were so afraid. Like his ideology is incomprehensible.
Notorious bummer,
Like,
Thanos.
It's just like, what? Why is he doing this? It's barely contemplate. He doesn't make any sense. He's so much smarter than him, but his plan is so stupid. I find it all very frustrating. It all got too big, and there was this moment when the sun never set on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where the people were like, "Here's what's going to happen: all movies are going to be Marvel movies, but Marvel movies can be all kinds of movies." So there's going to be a little detective one, and there's going to be a little, there's going to be
Right.
an adventure one. There's going to be one that's going to be more like a French farce, whatever. There's
A
gonna
lawyer,
be
yeah.
a
Like how
lawyer.
Kubrick
Like-
made movies, but it's all Marvel.
but all
Yeah.
like that. Wasn't there briefly a female Hulk lawyer film?
Yeah.
lawyer
That
show?
Oh,
was
She-Hulk.
the TV show. Yeah.
Did that-
It's
so-
about her being a lawyer.
Did that make it? Did that survive the blip of the?
I don't even know how the blip. I don't know
Is there
if we're
season
going
2?
to.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
but
have
so-
no idea.
But like even that, then instead they're like, oh, we're gonna make just absolutely incomprehensible, blurry purple super fights.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was out.
That is
was
what
out.
I always had a hard time with. I really liked it through Endgame, and I thought it was such a fun thing that everyone was in on something. We all
Yeah.
sort of seemed to watch it. Everyone had a good time with it. And then after that, I was like, well, how are more big guys going to come to blow it all up? I know they won't. That's what how are there going to be more big fights? How is everything going to end in a big fight? And I have a
AI.
tough time. I just mean, like, how are you going to tell me another story where another one's plan is blow up Earth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, and then that's the other thing too. When you have this big, sweeping, epic length of movies, but I don't know if it had epic qualities, but like Thanos destroyed half the universe.
Yeah. Yep.
That like basically. So then the only way to escalate is more than half the universe, which is what they did with the multiverse. Because then they're
Yeah.
like, no, the next villain, you wouldn't believe what his.
He just
whole
beats
plan-
whole
Oh,
universes in a second. He just cuts them up or whatever, and they're gone.
Right. There's the universe.
Who's that?
In the universe? Cuisinart.
He's got a Dutch oven.
Kang.
Kang.
Because he just
Not
or
Krang. I said
or
Krang
something
earlier.
in
Kang.
Wait, is
Loki.
he Jonathan Majors?
Yes,
He was.
Oh.
Is
But I presume they can just multiverse him out of this thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
now it's someone more palatable to you.
That's
Yeah.
probably.
It's
What if they
Timothée
do
Chalamet.
that? Yeah.
oh, you're talking about
Don't
Krang?
worry. Yeah.
They replaced him with Jonathan Majors. Isn't that Krang?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think they would just destroy whole universes. They'd be like, look, 30 universes just disappeared, and I was like, oh, so Thanos is also now weak.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
but that's it. This is the other problem with the multiverse thing, which is like, wait, what? Because like inside of that universe, like what was the movie? I think it was the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie where they visit a planet of. Again, just talking about these in any kind of seriousness is so embarrassing. But like, they visited a planet of humanoid pigs. Does anyone remember this? In Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the one where with the rocket.
I could see that.
Is that 3? Yeah.
I think it's 3. Anyway, at some point that planet just gets destroyed, and we met a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're people pigs, and now those people pigs are fucking dead, and that's fine. They were obliterated as part of this movie, but when they just casually throw away that oh yeah, a universe got destroyed, and it's like, well, hold on a second.
We just did 18 movies to save half of one of those.
Right, that's a big deal, isn't it?
And now it's all like 5 people in a room figuring out if 800 universes
Are you saying Marvel's gone corporate? No.
They forgot what it was supposed to be about.
I'm excited for them to pull back out of one, and it's just Mickey. And he's just standing over the entire thing. Like he will be he's the ultimate Thanos.
Yeah. There is a Deadpool Wolverine I'm excited for. I just want to throw that out there.
Yes. Well, like that.
I think it's unrelated to any of the stories.
I don't know if it has anything to do. I can't keep. I literally cannot keep up. I don't know if I don't have the mental bandwidth to keep up because there's too much lore. And I'm like, it took him 110 years of comics to do this.
I know,
at 7 a week.
That's the other thing too. It's all a bit like Stalin doing crops, and he's like, we'll grow twice as much wheat if we put all the wheat close together, and then there's no fucking wheat. And it's like and it's like, hey guys, like no, the way it works is not, we really liked Endgame, so give them 3 times as much faster. These things, like they did the same for Star Wars. Like they just sucked the specialness right out of them.
Yeah.
And it's like when the one of the first shows came on Disney Plus, I was like, oh, that's exciting. I gave up. Like I didn't watch.
Now there's like 15 shows.
Mandalorian 2 or the Boba Fett one.
Yeah.
I loved Andor. Andor's incredible.
This is what happens is every once in a while, people who really keep up will be like, no, 2 of the 16 this year were pretty good.
Yeah.
Or like very great. Everyone really loves Andor who I talked to about it.
Andor isn't just good. Like Andor isn't just good for Star Wars. Like Andor is an incredible drama. What's his name? He did Michael Clayton.
Well, I'm already sold.
Yeah, what's his Michael Clayton? Michael, come on.
George Clooney.
I know George Clooney.
I look. I have a computer closed in front of me.
It's killing me that I don't. He's so good. He came in and did the rewrite of Rogue One. I love Rogue One.
Oh, I do as well.
I love Rogue One. I think Rogue One is my favorite.
Is it Tony Gilroy?
Tony Gilroy. Tony Gilroy. God. Tony Gilroy comes in and he kind of does this. Basically Frankensteining of Rogue One, and I think that I view it as being really successful. Some people don't, but I loved what he did for Rogue One. Is my favorite Star Wars movie, and then he basically did what he was trying to do in Rogue One in Andor, and
but he got to start at the beginning of it instead of pulling in, and then Rogue One you're like pre-conning into the story that everyone is in love with.
Yes.
I loved Rogue One. I saw all the Star Wars stuff very late. Rogue One was out. I think I saw it all going into the Ryan Johnson movie. I like watched them all for the first time.
Which one's the Ryan Johnson?
The second to last, newest of the...
Which is called The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi?
Last Jedi being the second.
I would have loved the second to last Jedi. Would be a hilarious spoiler of a title.
Let's make that movie.
The penultimate. And I remember, so I got like, I had never seen like A New Hope. I'd never seen any of these. And I was just like, well, Rogue One's good, really good, and by far the most fun. And that's what I felt about it. I was like, they're actually having a nice time, and I liked how it all fit in and everything.
Yeah.
Didn't do too much. But Marvel now, once or twice a year, someone will be like, oh, you haven't watched... It'll be like She-Hulk. I had friends like, you're not watching She-Hulk? I'm like, I'm tired today.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what I would need to do to precursor this. And I'm sure some of the stuff is good, and I'm sure some of it isn't, but there's just so much.
I also, basically, it is at this point very... I have to be... It's like, no. Today is not a day that I can meet new characters. There are days where I can meet new characters and days where I can't. Most days are not days where I'm willing to be meeting characters. That's what I need. I need reality shows that I've seen, or I can keep watching shows I've already begun, but I'm not going to do the mental work of meeting people.
Yeah.
If I wanted to meet people, I'd be in the world.
There's a lot of new characters out and about.
Yeah.
Just even on Figueroa right
for
over
sure.
there.
Yeah, for sure. I saw someone, I truly, on my drive to this very studio, saw a completely nude woman.
Really?
Just giving herself a French
retconned
bath.
into the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use the phrase retconned in everyday life. I don't really know what it means. Retroactively con.
Right.
Retractively.
Retcon.
Anyone know? I like look at Jake. I'm like, British people know what stuff stands for.
Retroactive canon? Is
canon?
Retcanon?
Retcan?
Is that what it is? Retcon.
Okay.
Retcon.
It's just a...
It's retroactive.
Oh, retroactive
connection. And
Not
I think
sure.
I like to think that there's like a convention where they let Star Wars
Yeah.
people change everything they hate called retcon, where you're allowed to go back and actually you can make Rey be what you want.
Retroactive continuity.
Continuity.
Ooh, that's
Continuity was the
Retroactive
word.
continuity.
I'm huge. This is such an odd tangent. I'm like, I love Fallout, the game. I've
Yeah.
always played Fallout
Love
so
Fallout.
much, and
Huge
I
fan.
really liked the show.
I want to watch it. I've been watching it.
So I
but
won't talk about it
spoilers.
at all.
No, talk about it, but no spoilers.
But blue suit. That's about as much as I can say without spoilers. No, I thought it was really, really great. I am obsessed with the set design.
Oh, really?
There was
Okay.
like no Johnny Pemberton, who's on here, who's a comedian, is in the show, and I would bother throughout production to tell me little things, and he's like, they are spending so much money.
I love
set design.
I
They are
love to hear
spending
that. I love
so
to hear
much.
that.
He said, and this is sorry. He said, okay, I don't want. I'll tell you the other thing that he said off the air. That's not. It's a little jab at something else. But he was like, they're like obsessed with the game, and they are spending so much. And then he sent me in the middle of production him with one of the power armor suits, and it looked insane. I'm like, this looks actually fake. It looks so good. And then
awesome.
the show's good, and I really liked it. And it's been nice to see sort of the continued lore of the entire video game series, and they seem to be really like they really seemed fans of the thing that they made.
I love Fallout. I played the most. I played New Vegas, and I played Fallout 3 the most. I had trouble getting into 4 because it didn't feel different enough. I felt like I didn't get into Fallout 4 too much. But I love the world.
I'm
Love the world.
hundreds of hours into most of them. It's
Yeah.
probably 75% of all video games I played up and after being 10.
So
Really?
if you played
Yeah.
Fallout that much, Skyrim.
I played a little Skyrim. I was really because I never had an Xbox. I had like a regular Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, and then all of a sudden an Xbox One. And so then I went back and played all of these games. So I went 4, New Vegas 3, then like emulators for 1 and 2 on my computer. And now I actually do play the 76 online one sometimes. And it's pretty. I just started playing it again yesterday because it's fun because there's like a billion new players.
But because Fallout and Skyrim are very similar, just in the vibe,
Yeah, I
the
played a
open
little
world.
bit of Skyrim. I get my attention span struggles with character trait trees. And the one in Skyrim is I'm like, I bet
Yum yum yum, yum yum yum.
So,
Let me
like-
spend some time in this menu.
oh my gosh, like Skyrim's is so in depth, and then but Fallout's is like, do you want card of strong boy? And I'm like, yes. Like it like is literally handing it to me like I'm a child. But the Skyrim one is so and then I'm always worried I made the wrong decisions.
Yes, but that's right. Sort of the stakes of it.
I know.
You like?
I usually I get in video games after I watch the thing. So
Yeah, but I hope people do that with
Yeah,
Fallout.
yeah.
It really is a nice thing. It feels fresh, and it feels the sets are gorgeous. The costumes are incredible. It's very fun. Thank God they made it MA because the violence is very cartoonish, and they didn't have to hold anything back.
I'm just overwhelmed by the desire to. I hope I hear the kind of. What's the when you do slow time the
Vats.
that system the killing a mole rat shooting a mole rat.
I love that noise.
Giant that that noise.
Yeah.
God, it's in my brain.
ASMR shit, right?
The LB button, and then it's like, and then you can go.
This just made me excited to play as well.
Get it?
The enthusiasm you both have. I'm like, all right, well, shit.
It's fun, and it's such a deep. I read everything. They hide everything on computers and all the background and everything, and I live for like the backstory that'll
all.
never influence the game at all.
Are you a Dark Souls person or a Bloodborne person?
I know so few video games.
Okay.
I play these, and then I downloaded Pal World to see what Pokemon was suing them about. Well, it's
Ooh.
very funny.
All right. Well, I just hope the people listening then understand that I think demonstrated my bona fides.
Okay, let's get into the script here. So we've kind of prefaced what we'd want to preface about this. You can cast it however you'd like, and we'll have you do sort of the stage directions and everything.
Okay,
as
I'll
well.
do. All right. Well, so let's see. I think.
Will's German accent is notoriously
I was just
good on
gonna
the
say
podcast.
So, who can do a better German accent?
I can't do one at all.
you can do one,
There's
right?
absolutely no.
I can try. Is it racist if I do it? Probably not.
Oh, we didn't even. But because we were talking about Star Wars, Will famously did Star Wars
I
The
still
first
haven't
one,
seen it.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
On
haven't
this
seen it.
show,
I've never
Still
seen the
haven't
first
seen
at
it.
a live show, and people got pissed off at him.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
like, "That's not right."
Well, of course it's not right.
Yeah, I
That
know,
was
right?
what we were saying at the show.
I was like, I've never seen it.
And he's like, you weren't even first at the show either. That was the craziest thing.
Of course it's not right.
They were like, it's not CP3.
Yeah,
And
or
he's
something like that.
I've never seen the movie. Like, it's like, that's the Star Wars fanest thing I've ever seen, is you're at a show called like Inaccuracies the Show, and you're mad at inaccuracies.
Yeah.
All right, here are the characters. Will, you will be playing the role of Ant-Man.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, what a get.
You will be playing the role of the Wasp. I will be playing the role of Hitler, and I will be playing the role of Techno Voice. And I believe that is all of our characters.
Yet another villain whose motivations you can't understand.
All right.
Who's Techno Voice? You're going to do Techno
I'll do Techno Voice,
Okay.
and I will do Hitler, and I will do stage directions. Is that right?
Perfect.
Okay.
Wasp.
Are we ready? Mm-hmm. Interior, human ear. I'm sorry. Interior, human left ear. Day. It's quiet. Too quiet. And then we see him, our best tiny boy, Ant-Man, running full speed up and out of the ear canal.
They're coming. They're coming.
And just behind him, several quantum maniacs make chase, firing their quantum laser guns. We see a laser blast make contact with the wall of the cave. Zoom out to reveal interior, Hitler's bunker, 1945. It's Hitler's ear. Hitler smashes his fists on the table. Close up, a map shows arrows aimed at Berlin from all sides. Hitler, in a thick German accent, ugh. If even one more thing goes wrong today, I am going to kill myself. He startles in pain. Ah, mein ear. That is it. Zoom back into interior, Hitler's left ear, where we left off. Ant-Man runs up a steep incline onto the little pointy ear bit, leaps out of the air, and plummets towards the earth.
I'm out of earshot.
As Ant-Man falls, he looks around the bunker. Slow motion. Ant-Man looks confused as his eyes search the room. Then we see what he sees, a map of the world that has totally different continents. Then a disgusting alien creature with 6 legs and slime and tentacles bounds into the room. My Liebchen. Okay. You knew I was sad. The creature slobbers all over Hitler, who loves it. Ugh, nah, I'm still ending his life. He's killing himself. Ant-Man is disgusted by the creature just before he realizes he's about to hit the ground.
I've got a little problem here.
And then the Wasp swoops in and catches Ant-Man in her arms.
And I've got a solution.
Finally.
They kiss. Exterior, the back of a little bird or whatever. Day. Ant-Man and the Wasp have a picnic on the back of a bird. They're sharing a grape, which for them, it's a whole giant meal.
It's not our Hitler.
RFK Jr. actually makes some pretty good points.
What was
Oh,
it?
never mind.
We better get back to the quantum zone before those quantum maniacs catch up to us.
Ant-Man and the Wasp hold hands and then press their quantum buttons.
We've got to find the real Hitler before it's too late.
60 seconds to quantum diminution.
But how can it be too late?
If the quantum chip in our Hitler's brain activates before the Allies win, it will connect all the Hitlers from across the multiverse, creating one super Hitler.
Oh, okay, sure. Great.
I hate when you do that.
30 seconds to quantum diminution.
What?
It doesn't make you a good guy to avoid expressing yourself.
Are you seriously doing this now?
Are you forcing me to coax your opinion out of you by saying great, but making it my job to beg you to explain why I'm wrong?
15 seconds to quantum diminution.
Oh my God, can we please have a picnic on the back of one pigeon flying over alien World War II Germany without having this fight?
And then you do that! You make one of your jokes that acknowledges the absurdity of our situation. You go meta, a little wink at the camera, and I'm sick of it. We're all sick of it. It worked in Iron Man. It worked in Captain America, hunks, hunks, hunks. It worked in Spider-Man, let's go home, please. And it worked in Avengers, uh-oh, everybody died. But that was it.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm nice.
Is it nice? Because refusing to be honest implies that disagreement is either too painful for me because I'm sensitive or too painful for you because I'm a bitch.
Well, I don't think you're sensitive.
Commencing quantum commencing quantum diminution. They shrink until they disappear. Poof! Interior, quantum zone, always and never. Ant-Man and the Wasp are floating in the quantum zone. Sort of like a Vegas nightclub filled with crystals and goo. Is there air? How does air work? Shut up, that's how. Ant-Man and the Wasp are still arguing.
All I'm saying is, if quantum probabilities create an infinite number of universes, then there are countless universes where we succeed and countless universes where we fail. There are universes where Hitler is a famous artist and Picasso invades Poland. There are universes where Greta Thunberg is on trial right now for killing the dog from Anatomy of the Fall during the Oscars while riding a literal pterodactyl. And during that crime, Emma Stone doubles in size without explanation, freaks her and everyone out. There's a universe where we have this conversation. As we have this conversation, Michelle Pfeiffer floats by.
Michelle Pfeiffer floats by. Am I somehow in this? Do you have a memory of me being in this? A quantum whale eats Michelle Pfeiffer.
The universe was infinitely big before we knew there were infinitely many, and the quantum maniacs are still chasing us across timelines. We still have a mission.
Well, I say the multiverse makes this all confusing and pointless.
And I say bone broth is a vaccine without the chemicals.
What was that?
No, never mind.
Just then, a quantum hole appears. Timothy Chalamet as Ant-Man pops in and fires a quantum laser at Ant-Man.
Oh, brother.
He dies. I'll be Chalamet Ant-Man.
Okay.
I'm here, the Wasp. I'm from a universe where Ant-Man is younger, pointy as hell, and more keyed into today's audience's sensibilities.
Oh, thank God. But if you're here...
Another quantum hole appears, and Florence Pugh, as the Wasp pops in and fires a quantum laser at the Wasp.
I refuse to do social distancing in 2020.
She dies. Pugh, the Wasp. Finally. And the Chalamet Ant-Man and the Florence Pugh Wasp kiss, but is it the end? Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a really great German accent, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For Florence Pugh's Wasp.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Chalamet's Ant-Man.
I think this did make me realize I have seen the movie. It reminded me.
Does it remind you?
You know what actually made me remember I saw
reminded
it
you of it?
was
Hitler's
when you,
bunker.
Yeah, Hitler's bunker.
Is Hitler's bunker in it?
I don't know. I was rereading a book. No, what was it when you described it just as the quantum zone as just looking like something colorful?
Well, yes, because I think I've seen trailer images where it's like
Maybe
a
that's what it
purple
was.
glue. I remember from I don't remember where I have seen, these movies force their way into your brain.
They
Yeah.
really do.
But I
It's
can
on, like,
just picture
TNT or
people
TBS or something.
floating in kind of like a purplish. Everything is purple. When you get
Yeah.
down to because space can't just be kind of empty, vacuum, dark, black, whatever. It has to be
Look, doesn't
colorful.
pop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it has to be always purpley and dark and sky.
Yeah.
It can't be blue because it's sky, so it's very purpley.
I remember it is so wild that this jogged all of my memories of actually seeing Quantumania. I think I watched it on an airplane.
Sounds about right.
And the guy shows back up as this weird square guy. You know how there's like villains that you're like, well, this should have stayed in the comic book. He's like a square. He's just a square that flies around.
You keep saying that, but I'm picturing like a guy
literal.
who's really
He's only.
I'm picturing
not cool.
SpongeBob.
He is. SpongeBob is almost
he's a
close.
square, like
SpongeBob is
1920s
almost
lingo,
close.
yeah.
SpongeBob is the shape of him.
Oh,
and he's
really?
mostly a face. And they're like, I'm like, what? Who is this guy? And he's like a face stretched across a square. And he ends up being one of the bad guys. And then I landed, and I'm like, who's the square guy from Ant-Man? Everyone's like, don't you remember from the first one? I'm like, no! I don't remember someone
first
dying
one?
and getting sent to the quantum zone and becoming a square. And I'm just like, you can't have me having to remember these people.
It's just like, hey man, good guys, everybody, back to one. We're starting over. We got a superhero. Just create a problem on Earth for them to solve.
Yeah.
In the first Superman, he's stopping bank robberies.
Yeah.
Bank robberies.
Yeah.
The stakes don't need to be. The stakes just have to matter for us watching the movie.
They made
We
it
don't-
like
we know how to. We can like these movies like Walter White. Everyone was very passionate about what was going to happen to Walter White.
Yeah.
It wasn't because the universe was going to destroy anything.
Yeah.
It was that because his friend could find out about the drugs.
Yeah.
Literally so
His
few
life.
lives would change.
Yeah.
Right.
Four
In the-
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you
Four
need.
people.
Four people.
Four
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yes. This did this thing where they made the stakes. The whole world will end, but it's this small little world, so that way we don't actually have to affect anything in the real world where the other 80 of our movies are taking place.
In the quantum
and
world?
they're just like the quantum world's like in a marble, essentially. You know what I mean? Even way smaller than that.
Yeah.
Where Paul Rudd was hiding the whole all of one of the
right.
Avengers movies.
During the blip.
Is he not around in the blip?
He didn't get
I
blipped
think
because he
didn't
was
get
in
blipped
the
'cause he was a small
in the
person.
quantum.
Not a small person.
I'm like
that.
He was an ant.
I don't know what a stroke feels like.
Yeah.
But saying blip this much within an hour,
Blip.
it makes me feel like it.
Blip. You're not even here. These lights aren't here. this is you're in a hospital. Aren't these strangely like what would it be like to be staring
I don't
is
know
Inception,
what is happening with these movies. They all have a problem where they take so long to happen. I mean, Paul Rudd, thank God for them, doesn't age.
Yeah.
But he's like 20 years older than he was the first time he was Ant-Man. How is he still going to be the Ant-Man? What's happening is the Hemsworth still Thor? He's much older. Everyone's younger.
Sam Jackson doesn't quite age somehow.
Yeah.
He's 70 something.
It is wild.
Yeah.
But he's still running around and stuff with an eye patch on or off, depending on what's going on. They're like smoothing faces out like the Irishman, and it's making me feel weird watching stuff. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's just a lot.
It's a bit bankrupt, to say.
There's a new WandaVision coming out, I think, right?
I did like the first WandaVision.
Yeah, me
I did too, but then it ended in a big fight. And I was like,
and that
did it
was
really
very-
end in a big Sky Dragon Ball Z fight?
that's
again?
true.
Again,
Yeah.
they did do that. You're right, and that really sucked.
I loved the whole thing, and all the acting was great, and it was super interesting and
Yeah.
conceptual. And it was also very early COVID. It was like the first
Yeah,
new thing to
yeah.
come out.
And it
great.
took 3 episodes to like understand what could possibly
Yeah.
be happening.
And
I
then
love that.
I did
Vision
too, yeah.
disappeared, and
But we all had enough time to like deal with the
Yeah.
waiting of like.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense for 3 episodes.
I would like. Here's what I would like. I think that like you give one of these books, one of these characters, give them to like an Aaron Sorkin, and just say, hey, you remember you made that Steve Jobs movie where it was like 3 TED Talks?
Yeah.
Give us 12 Angry Men, but it's Wolverine and I don't know.
I mean, 12 X-ray men.
hey, hey, like that.
Yeah.
like that. Put that on the list.
That's what I started watching the cartoon last night because I couldn't fall asleep. It's called X-Men 97.
97.
It has nothing to do with all the Marvel stuff, and it is a Saturday morning cartoon from the 90s made and coming out right now.
Huh.
And it feels like
Oh,
it.
really?
It has the same theme song from the 90s television show. Cyclops is like the leader. I've only watched 2 episodes because I couldn't sleep last night, and I was like, this is, and I mean this in the best way, nothing.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
Because
People love it.
I don't have to know everything that no one's like. I don't know. No one's showing up who I missed in some weird movie 6 movies ago. Let me say, good job, Marvel. You made a bunch of money. I don't know why this is why we can't do Marvel stuff too frequently on here. Because then I just get like riled up thinking about what's going on with it and how it was everywhere and all this stuff. And remember, there was one Marvel thing where Kit Harington showed up like right after Game of Thrones was over, and he's supposed to be like a guy from the Middle Ages.
Wasn't there the Eternals that also happened?
Oh,
There was the
yeah.
Eternals.
Was that Kumail? Right?
And that was Kumail was huge
Yeah.
during that movie, and that set a bad precedent for comedians working out.
yeah.
That I think was
that was
dangerous in the
upsetting.
real world.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
But what happened to all those people?
Can't have comedians doing box jumps.
No.
We,
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You doing that thing with the rope and the big tire?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
where
for
you're
us.
doing this.
Crazy.
You can't can't have comedians doing this.
No.
Absolutely
It doesn't make any
not.
sense.
anytime
Absolutely
I see
not.
like a comedian exercise, I'm like, well, then why you got to stop doing comedy.
How much fun are you trying to lose?
Right. Yeah. Like, really, you're in shape.
The caloric deficit
Yeah.
is for jokes.
Oh, you want to put on a leather jacket?
You better be really sick, otherwise, watch
Yeah,
it.
I need comedians I know to eat so few salads. I know when they eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've tweeted about it.
I ate one today.
There's a
so I'm
certain
trying
look.
to wedge it in.
There's people. There are people who eat salads all the time. There's the way they eat salads, and there's people who like salads are a special dispensation and effort that they rarely make.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they just eat them in a completely different way, and it's hard to really describe. But like, there are people that just like they attack a sweet greens bowl. They just know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like this is fuel to me.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
this every time.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
I
I'm not,
don't love it.
And
Yeah.
then like I feel like there's like the comedian approach where you approach a bowl of sweet greens and it's like, here I think this part goes here.
Yeah.
I think the dressing goes
Yeah.
on it, and you shake it, but you're gonna fuck it up.
You're just getting
Yep.
a salad to earn something else later,
Right.
anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll eat a
Yep.
salad to be like, I can have ice cream tomorrow. I had that salad yesterday.
Right.
It's like a 1 in, 1 out type of thing.
I really
Yeah.
want ice cream and a salad right now.
Oh, yeah. One for them, one for me.
yeah.
But you're both.
Yeah.
All right. What do we? Here we go. We're gonna play a couple quick games. Here, real quick. This first game. If you look over my shoulder here, you see we have Joe Dirty Dancing.
Joe Dirty Dancing.
Sort of a portmanteau. This game is called Before and Afters.
Get ready to play before and afters.
How this works, essentially like Joe Dirty Dancing, 2 movie titles have been smashed together into one. I will read the smashed together plot. The 2 of you have to come up with the smashed together
This is
title.
fun.
Let's do this,
It's
yeah.
fun. Here we go.
You can work together. You compete against one another. It's whatever you prefer. Number 1. I'll say they get harder as they go. A popular reporter from Kazakhstan travels to America to film a documentary on a rat that supposedly knows how to cook.
Boratatouille.
Boratatouille
yes.
is correct.
Nice.
There's
It was like right there.
I couldn't get the word Borat for so long. Then I got Ratatouille.
Number two. An ex-cop gets involved with the street racing scene in a new city, taking on the Snow Queen and her sister, who are also now far from home.
Fast and Frozen.
Doesn't make any sense. Too Fast, Too Frozen. Ex-cop. Gone in 60 Frozen.
Fast and Frozen 2.
Frozen.
You're right there. I'll get 2 Frozen, 2 Furious.
2 Frozen, 2
Because it's Frozen 2. It's Frozen 2.
Frozen
Yeah.
2.
What was the Gone in 60 Seconds one I really liked, though?
Frozen in 60 seconds.
Nick Olaf's Cage.
Right. Just sort of like, look, I don't want to tell you how to do your show, but Too Fast, Too Frozen 2. Frozen, Too Fast, Too
It's 2 Frozen, 2
Frozen, 2
Furious. Because
Furious.
it's
Two
Frozen
Frozen.
2 and 2 Fast, 2 Furious.
Okay,
Two
okay,
Frozen,
okay,
Two
okay,
Furious.
okay,
So Frozen
okay, fine.
You see how I was like,
You did
Yeah,
reverse it. Okay,
yeah.
you
I just
reversed it in
gave
the
it to
telling.
you.
You reversed it in the telling.
Yeah.
You reversed it in the telling. It's fine. It's fine. Don't tell you how to do your job.
Well, the 2 at the beginning is from 2 Fast, 2 Furious. The very first 2
And the
Frozen.
last Furious.
Frozen 2 is right in the middle, and then the 2 in the
But
Furious.
this is my point. You've split it up.
Yeah,
It's
this was
sandwiched.
sandwiched in.
It's sandwiched
Right.
in.
Well, that's not really before and after. That's before and after and before.
It's just sort of like a before and a
This is
during
the
and then
point I was
before
trying to
again.
make.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Before,
So,
middle.
you know, I just think you're playing with the format.
No,
pretty
we've
early.
never made it through this game without people being only upset at me. This is actually the furthest into a round we've made it before deconstructing the game.
For sure.
Well, if you hated that one, you're going to love
All right.
the
Good. But now
last
our
8.
mindset's different.
The last
So
And now
16.
we're ready. We didn't know. We didn't
I
know the
usually
rules
do
could be
give
bad.
examples. This one's on me. Are
We're
you
smart
Saving
guys.
Private
We're smart
Silverman?
guys.
For Argo, that's Argo and Fargo.
Oh,
They can
wow.
go together all the way.
Argo and Fargo together sucks because that's just Fargo. Fuck you. Read your next one. Read your little joke.
See, this is why. I know not everyone's built for these. I understand. An adventurous teenager sails out on a mission to save her people, fulfilling the ancient quest of her ancestors by moving to New York and hilariously and quirkily cooking lobster with a sex predator.
Moana?
Yeah. But what's the second one? Lobster with a sex
predator.
predator.
What the fuck movie is that?
Moana Burns? I don't know.
I will say this one got a little
on.
real in the plot, little meta in the plot.
Well, yeah, I assume the movie's not about cooking lobster with an actual. I think the sex predator must have been the actor. So,
Yeah.
wait.
Who cooked lobster?
Is it? Who's cooking fucking lobster?
With
Julia and
I
Moana?
thought about that. Yeah, I was like,
No, she had to leave. She hurt her foot.
Oh, wait a minute. Fuck. Wait.
I gotta go back.
Can you just read the text again?
An adventurous teenager sails on a mission to save her people, fulfilling the ancient quest of her
Moana.
ancestors by moving to New York
Yes.
and hilariously and quirkily cooking lobster with a sex predator.
Oh, Moana Ni Hall.
Moani Hall is
Moani
correct.
Hall.
Oh, okay.
Moana Hall.
They do cook lobster in
They do,
one
they do,
particular
they do.
scenes.
They do. I thought it was someone.
You're right, I wrote it
becoming
down
a chef. I thought it was someone becoming a chef. We went.
I
to
did too.
chef.
We went straight to
to
chef.
chef.
That's why I was
Not
like,
a quirky
Burns?
date.
Like, is it Bradley Cooper? Did he?
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
I was like, I didn't think he was a
You know,
sex
he learned to
predator.
cook for 16 years for that role.
Yeah.
Burnt?
It wasn't even acting by the end. He just had learned a skill. Final one. A peaceful exchange with Martians leads to the annihilation of all of Congress, and everyone then competes in the Jellicle Ball.
Arrival cats.
Yeah, Jellicle
Cats.
Ball.
Wait,
Jellicle, okay.
Cat. That's cats.
That's
Jellicle Ball is cats.
Jellicle Ball.
So wait, what's the
A
And
peaceful
then
exchange
Mars-
with Martians leads to the annihilation of all of Congress.
Mars the
that's
cats.
Mars the Cats.
Mars the cats. Yes.
Mars the
Yes,
cats.
yes.
Mars the cats.
Also sounds like a prescription medication.
Yeah.
Are you on Mars the Cats?
You may people on Mars the cats may experience more frequent urination.
Yeah. I also thought marzipan. I don't know what.
Yeah.
What is
marzipan?
marzipan? Is that like a
It's an-
spice?
I think it's an almond dessert.
An
Yeah,
almond
it's
dessert.
like a-
It's delicious.
It is good.
Yeah,
It is good.
I know I've eaten it. I didn't know what it was though.
like Marvel movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm pretty
I know
sure
I've-
this
I know
I've
it's gone
consumed
in my-
this.
I've consumed it, but what was it?
Have I call
remember.
food content at this point.
It might as well
food
be.
is content.
I'm just consuming bite-sized morsels of content is what I call a box of chocolates.
Nice.
I do often eat food I've seen on Instagram.
Yeah, I fall for Instagram stuff all the time. I think I said on stage the other day I'm dressed head to toe in Instagram ads because that's like that would be me on a red carpet. Would just be like, oh, this targeted ad when I was drunk.
I only thrift.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No.
But it's all Instagram thrifts.
I'm like still embarrassed to go to thrift stores because the times I've tried to get money for clothes.
I know.
I know it's not the same 17-year-old working there who like laughed at my bag I brought in, but they're
Yeah.
very mean. They're just like, this hasn't been in style. And I'm like, just throw it away for me.
Just say no.
Yeah.
Just let me get the tax right off.
Exactly.
All right, our final game here today. This game is called Guess What Movie Kyle's Dad is Describing, having only watched the trailer and never having heard of the movie, The Game.
Okay.
Did your dad go in the booth and record this?
Guess what movie trailer
Really?
Kyle's dad is describing?
One headphone on.
Watch the trailer and never having heard of the movie Game.
How this game works is my dad watches a movie trailer. He writes down what's happening in the movie trailer and reads it back. Can be any movie ever.
Okay.
A little bit of context, he hasn't been to a movie theater since 1994, so he doesn't really keep up. All right.
Guy sounds like
Wow.
Sounds like I like.
You'd think that.
What does he do? TV?
What is it? He loves
Just
TV?
rebuilds bikes.
Wow.
Can I get
Works
bike?
with
Or
his
like
hands.
worked. Worked as an iron worker.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, right. You
People
know.
people that make iron still like the movies.
Yeah, he was an Irons man.
Hey, speaking of
Nice.
Iron Man.
He really likes Jeremy Irons.
Hey.
Okay, so we're going to scroll through a bunch of people's photos here. This is a dramatic children's choir song. It's a dramatic college movie.
Social Network.
It is The Social Network.
Wow.
Holy
Used
shit.
to
Wow.
be something like that.
Oh, Facebook.
There's
yeah.
that
this-
singer.
Did he say
Photos.
Facebook?
He said
So it's a
scrolling through
movie where
photos.
everyone is in court, but also partying the entire time.
There you go. You could cut it. You
Are
could
they-
cut it. There's 7 more minutes.
That's Justin Timberlake's wife. Or
got
life.
that.
What a
whole life.
catch. What a get. Wow. Well, thank you. Great
Thank
guess.
you.
Now coming out here, when did your book come out? I want to.
Okay. If you're hearing this,
Yeah.
our book comes out in June, but you can pre-order it now. It is called Democracy or Else. We wrote a book about how to save democracy. It's very short,
I think I was like,
but
there is a word search. Which
yeah, it's mostly jumbles. It's mostly
Right.
jumbles.
Find the insurrectionist who's falling.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's it's an illustrated helpful guide. Also, all the proceeds are going to organizations that are on the ground helping to get people out to vote, get people registered. Their group's doing good work. We're donating all the proceeds from the book. I'm genuinely very proud of it. It's actually funny. It is. Look, there's one thing that we try to do at Crooked, whether with Pod Save America or Love It or Leave It or Vote Save America, which is or this book, is like it's very easy to be cynical and funny. It is very easy to be earnest and not funny. It is very hard to be earnest and optimistic while also trying to be funny. And we worked really, really hard to make something that we think is both like hopeful but also has like hard jokes. Please pre-order it. crooked.com/book, I guess.
I hope that URL is available.
Yeah.
I'm squatting
It's
it now.
I'll get it. I'll get it. But if you're hearing this, I've checked, and you can go to crooked.com/book or books. Just go to crooked.com. You'll find. Just buy the fucking book.
You know how to find books, people.
You know how to
section.
find
Yeah.
books. Please pre-order the book. We're trying to get on the New York Times bestseller list because it's all conservative people that we don't have a Donald Trump to buy our dad to
Right.
buy our books because we're a terrible son
Right.
and get it on the
We're
bestseller list.
not a
We're just-
merch-based movement.
Yeah, we're not. I just did that.
I was actually.
We're not.
yeah.
So if you can go and please check out the book. I wrote a whole fucking script for you people about a movie I haven't and will never see. By the way, God, the only thing I remember from the fact that this movie existed is the fact that Evangeline Lilly has the just hands down worst opinions. She's just truly
I actually didn't know where you're going with that until literally the last word.
opinions. Like they like the over the since this I don't remember when this came out, but man, this is somebody who's just out there every day saying she doesn't just say I'm anti-vax. She doesn't just say like I don't think there should be social distancing. She says I know I'm going to get a lot of blowback for saying this, but I just have to share my truth. It's like all right.
You don't preface your way into the lie that you are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry this is happening to you.
My
I'm sorry
truth.
I'm sorry not getting vaccinated or doing social distancing
I think
happened to
she
you.
just felt left out of the Imagine video. She must not have been on that
That's true.
CC'd on
That's
that.
true.
I feel like a lot of celebrities that weren't asked to be in that turned.
How many do you think turned? Right.
The rest of them.
Rob Schneider was.
We
normal
do have
before
Randy
that.
Quaid on next week.
Antiquated.
Rob Schneider, who just said the woke audience at his last gig was too woke, and it was like at the RNC.
They're like, we're using the NNF words. What do you mean? We're not woke. We swear.
It says it on our shirt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why Rob Schneider is in Killing when he's getting out there. Everyone went woke on him.
I don't know. Okay, I don't want to keep. I saw Rob Schneider bomb so hard.
Of course.
Opening for Adam Sandler once that Adam Sandler interrupted him 30 seconds in and ended the set.
What?
It was a Dynasty type. Okay, we're going to go way over if I tell this
Do it.
story. Okay, it was a Dynasty typewriter. It was like March 8th, 2020. You know what I mean?
I
It's
went
like,
to those,
remember
yeah.
those shows?
Yeah.
They had and he was like, I'm about to go on big tour, which didn't happen, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's like, Adam Sandler comes out, he's like, hey, I got my buddy here. You guys love him. He's a very funny guy. I'll let him tell some jokes. Rob Schneider. And people sort of clapped because we're curious. This was, back then it was just
course.
Rob Schneider. It was just like, we
he
didn't
was
have
never funny.
No, but we didn't have the COVID knowledge
Yeah.
to not give him the benefit of the doubt to at least watch. And he came out in a newsboy cap and a vest.
Sure.
And the first thing he said, he's like, "This Bernie Sanders guy, everything's going to be free." This is the first words out of his. And then he started doing what the Bernie Sanders impression was so bad. I would say it's like beyond anti-Semitic. It was like racist. It was so bad. And he's like, everything free. What do you want free? And he starts like bombing. It's bombing so hard. There's nothing to it. And Adam Sandler came over the God mic and he goes, buddy, it's not working out tonight. They don't like you. And Rob Schneider then thinks it's a bit. And then Adam Sandler comes walking out with the wireless God mic. He's like, nah, leave. And he starts to push him, and Rob Schneider like laughs with him. He's like, okay, no, we're still buddies, but they don't like you. Pushes him backstage, and he goes, sorry, everybody. And then he just does an hour.
That was lovely. Yeah.
I like that Adam Sandler, like, he just like, I'm gonna put my people in my movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure they got a living. Like, I think that's cool. I even think like, yeah, Rob to let Rob Schneider go there, but what's he gonna do? Be mad at me? I've kept his career alive. For
Exactly.
30
Yeah.
fucking years.
And
And
also
put him in
he's-
every one of
yeah.
those godforsaken movies I made.
If he keeps Rob Schneider busy, we have less Rob Schneider exclusively created things.
Right.
Yeah. There are other obstacles to the Rob Schneider
You'd think
content
there
pipeline
were.
has some kinks in the fucking hose.
It does, just because people were protesting the pipeline being built from the beginning.
That's right.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I've never seen it.